and this one is a really interesting competitive area control and deck building game. And the thing that makes this game so unique is the way that the three realms work out on this board and the way that they change almost every aspect of this game. And I'll get into that in a second here, but first I'll just let you know the win conditions of this game, and this is something that ties into those three realms, because you can either win the game by just controlling those three realms, but each of these realms is also going to have a set of their own cards that players will be able to purchase throughout the game in order to add to their deck, and the end of the game will be triggered as soon as any one of those three decks are depleted, but the win condition of the game is going to be changing depending on which deck that is. One realm might award the win to whoever has the most gold at the end of the game, whereas the others might award the win for having the most followers or the most cards in your possession. But in addition to all these different win scenarios, there's also a scenario where all the players can lose the game, because this game also features a shared enemy, and as players are taking their actions, there's going to be different events that occur that cause enemy units to be put out on the different regions of the board, and if there are more enemy units on a region than there are any other player, then that region's going to be flipped to its corrupted side, and if all three of the regions end up in that state, then the enemy wins the game and all the players lose. But each player is going to be playing as a hero with their own unique board and strengths, as well as a skill tree that players will be able to upgrade as they play throughout the game. And in a round, players are going to be taking turns performing two actions. They can either use that action to play a card from their hand, paying any associated costs, but this might allow that player to gain gold, gain followers in the different regions of the board, which does gain them influence and control over that region, but they can also use those cards to buy other cards, draw more cards from their deck, remove enemies from the board, or even move their hero to a different realm. And the reason that you might want to do that is that you can only buy cards from the realm where your hero is located, and each of the realms has their own set of cards like I explained before, and they'll each have their own theme. But another interesting difference between the realms here is that the cost of that card is going to be different depending on the realm that you're in. One realm might require you to pay gold, where another might require you to sacrifice some of your followers or even sacrifice some of your cards. Anytime a card is purchased, you're going to be revealing the next one from the deck, and each of these cards will also have a potential effect that could occur at that time. This could add enemies to different regions, or could present the player with a particular decision, and depending on that decision, it can have game-changing effects. But the really nice thing about getting the most followers out in a region is that whichever player is able to do that is also going to be able to gain access to that region's specific special ability. If that's currently you, then that is another option for one of your actions, but you can also use an action to train your hero and start adding tokens to your skill tree, making you a little bit more powerful for the rest of the game. But the game continues like this until a single player controls all three regions, or one of those decks is completely depleted, or alternatively, the enemy controls all three regions, and in that case, all players lose the game. But if you want to learn more about this one, you can check it out, and I'll have it linked in the description down below.